John Yokley, welcome. It's great to talk to you. What do you see opportunity-wise for DoD intelligence organizations to expand their mission effectiveness?
So our company helps DoD and intel agencies manage big data. And the problem that they've had for many years is getting a handle around knowing where their data is, how much of it is, and what it's all about. And it's only gotten exponentially worse over the years. So the biggest challenge now, people are building AI tools, they're replacing analytics tools, but the biggest problem that I see as a challenge now is to continue to increase getting our handle around the existing data, because if you don't run the AI on your full and complete data set, the AI will give you the wrong answer. And so AI is a humongous thing now, and it's going to help with a lot of things, but we have to make sure we understand the basics first. And the basics are to find and index and manage the data that you have as a complete set before you run AI.
How are organizations in government doing at achieving that now, and how much work do they still have ahead of them to do that?
Well, our product Knowvation has what's called a federated indexing tool. DoD calls that data mesh. And that federated indexing tool goes out and is able to spider index an organization's assets, whether they be SharePoint portals, data shares, websites, Oracle databases, and we index all of that data and then bring it back and build this big index so that you can first find out where your data all is, and then you can go and process it and categorize it so that you can run your analytics or your AI tools. So we're doing some of that for some of our customers now. We have a program of record at NGA, a system called GeoSquirrel, where we manage all the unstructured data. So that's kind of unstructured GeoInt. It's everything that's not satellite imagery, pretty much, like ground photos, finished intelligence, video, even fixed physical data, and other things like that.
Mm-hmm. What are the organizations that are trying to wrap their arms around this data situation as you described it? The ones that are having success, what are they doing to be successful?
So far, no one's 100% successful.
Of course.
But the ones that are successful, the CDAO, I think, was a great thing for DoD to put in place, because they recognize this data issue, and the CDAO calls what we're doing federated indexing a data mesh. And so they've recognized that as an issue that they need to focus on. The data mesh has 4 tenets. Our product supports 3.5 of the 4. The fourth one is identification for who owns the data. Well, we can do that if it's in the data, but if it's anonymous, we still support 3.5 of the 4 data mesh tenets.
What are organizations that have particularly sensitive data? What do they have to think about in order to be successful in this area?
So, PTFS builds software that does declassification. So we've been doing this for quite a while, and this is an area where AI is going to really help out. All organizations have what's called a classification guide that helps determine when you classify something, what should be classified and what should not be classified. But 25 or 30 years later, when you try to go the other way and figure out why they made something classified 30 years ago, it becomes more and more difficult, and you have to interpret these classification guides that were made 30 years ago. And so these new AI tools are going to help us solve some of that problem. But our product that we built for D-Class also works great for privacy, HIPAA compliance, and that sort of thing, where the major problem, of course, in commercially is identity theft, right? And so people are starting to get their handle on that, and companies like ours, who really didn't start out in that area, but our D-Class is very similar, are leveraging our products to support those areas.
John, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining me today.